not catch last week's lesson, I'd highly recommend that you watch it. It was the kind of beginning of doing buildings. We are ultimately going to do, let me see if I can show you here. We're going to start with this exercise because it was asked, how do you handle roofs when we're dealing with buildings? And then I found this on Unsplash, which is just a perfect example of, you know, this sort of explicating this out. So we're going to end up doing this. We'll grid this, but we'll also talk about vanishing points and eye level and all of that. But we're going to start by practicing with this. So if you guys remember here, I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put this here. So if you guys remember, go ahead and get yourself a sheet of paper. If you remember that a house is really like a cube turned on its side. I'm just seeing if you can see that. So if you remember, right, we did this straight line. All of our verticals are, all of our vertical lines are straight up and down, meaning they don't lean this way, they don't lean this way, right? They're actually straight up and down. Our horizontal lines go up and angle up or down. So if, let's see. So if you're drawing, you can sketch this out as I'm doing this. So let's say this is eye level. This is a cube sitting on a table. And this is our eye level horizon. It's also the table where the table meets the wall, right? These are going to be straight up and down lines. And all lines that are above this eye level on one side, probably shouldn't have drawn that yet, are going to go to one vanishing point. So what does that mean? Let me get my, you guys can start to sketch this out, but I can show you. There's my ruler. Right? So you don't need a ruler to measure. So if this line, I'm going to bring that out a little bit. So if this line, the bottom edge, if the bottom edge of the building or the cube meets here on this side, it stands to reason that the top edge will also meet at that same vanishing point. Got it? So everything on one side goes to one vanishing point. I'll do the same thing on this side. So here, I'll get rid of these verticals right now because I think they're confusing. We'll do this as well. They all go to the same vanishing point. Right? So this is how you know how to make those angles. And then you add in your verticals like this, right? Not only, yeah, I guess this is how we're going to need to do it. So this is kind of a basic building. So not only do the top and the bottom go like this, if I want to add windows, the windows also go to the top and the bottom line of each window also go to the same vanishing point. Got that? So all I have to do is keep going to the same vanishing point as I'm drawing my lines. The only area where things are straight is where the horizon line comes through here in the middle. So see, and then I can add straight lines for my vertical windows. They will gradually get smaller. They will gradually rise up. I can do the same thing on this side. Everything, oops, that didn't go to the right. That didn't go to the vanishing point. So when the sort of bad news about perspective is that every angle is different. These are not parallel, none of these are parallel lines, none of them. They all go at a different angle, but the good news is they all go to the same place on each side. That's the good news. And these lines are always vertical. So go ahead and take a minute to sketch that out. And I'll take a picture of this so you can see it. Let's say we want to add a door in here. Our door might come right here. So the door line is straight. So are the tops of these particular windows, because that comes at the eye level horizon. Everything else is angled up if it's below the horizon line, or down if it's above. So I'm going to take a picture of this. Go ahead and sketch it out. So this is our beginning exercise, which kind of reviews a bit of what we did last week. And please don't hesitate to ask me questions, but I would like to see this picture before we go on to this bigger round here. Sandra, it would probably be a good idea if you're interested in drawing houses. It would be a good idea for you to do this part, because
but I'm already into
this is what you asked to do last week.
But we already did this on the barn.
No, well, no, we didn't. You asked me where to put the roof line, and this is a total rule that you do not know.
Right.
So I would recommend, if you want to get some basics down, that this is one of the things you want to practice. I know you have your thing you're doing, but
yeah, kind of.
If you're going to take an architectural drawing class, you want this. You want this.
I presume they're going to teach me from scratch. So, but I'm listening to what you're saying.
Okay, great. Okay, so go ahead and send me a picture when you guys get to there. Looks good. Great. So I think this is the thing to get in our mind, that none of these lines are parallel. And I think our instinct is to want to draw them parallel. Yes, it is. So Jackie, your top is also going to be, oh yeah, I see. You just made the top of your building really tall. Yes, it's hard.
Yeah, push that up.
Got it. Well, just start it down here. Right. So you have yours up here, right?
Yeah.
Just bring it down here and erase that top.
Okay.
There you go. And then erase the sides. Yeah, it's hard. Intellectually, this is the tricky thing. This is one of those things that you won't be able to see. You have to know it as a rule. Okay. And that is that all things, since we are on a flat surface, as things go away from us, just like a road, you learn to do this as a kid, right? You learn to draw a road that goes away from you. You have to get that when you're dealing with a flat surface, there's a translation that happens. The first thing is that as things move away from you, they rise up on the paper, because we can't go back, right? We can only go up or down. So to show something going away from you, it rises up and it gets narrower. So the same rule about this applies here. And that's not something you can really see. That's not something that you'll see. Your eye will try to tell you that these are parallel lines. and then you'll wonder why your windows don't look so great, right? So that's part of it's just part of learning the rules. I want to see a couple more. Olga. Olga, your lines are not, these lines are not straight. They're bending. Got it? You've done this with your windows, right? The only lines that are straight, the only lines that are bending are the horizon lines. These vertical lines are straight up and down.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I will correct it. Thanks.
Yep. Looks okay on this side. Your door looks funny though. So work that. There you go. So you see, intellectually, we want to do that. There we go. There we go. Good. So we want to do that, right? We want to like kind of sway. It's almost like we're earthquake proof. We want to sway our building, lots of our building, with the way that everything is going. So you want to be careful. So all vertical lines are straight up and down. So the question becomes how to draw a house with a roof, right? Because the roof has a whole other set of slants and perspectives. So I'm gonna send this over to you so you guys can see this big. We're gonna copy this drawing. But I love, this is one of those things that I really love in terms of, oops, here we are. There we go, here it comes. So this is from my book, The Oil Painting Course You've Always Wanted. Has some of the best drawing instruction I've ever read. So just like this, we're creating our eye level horizon. Well, actually, yeah, let's just lightly sketch in our eye level horizon. So the eye level means that like, this is basically where the ground meets the sky. And if you're standing kind of straight on the ground and you're looking directly at something, you're not like bent down or standing up on a ladder and looking down on it. Your eye level horizon is basically where, if you could see the sky and the ground, they would meet, okay? So if I start by adding this on, and then I'm going to draw my basic house in the center here. I'm going to start by drawing a straight line down the middle here like this. Okay, I'm going to add my vanishing point here, and I'm going to add a vanishing point here. I'm going to start this building. By the way, you don't need a ruler, you just need anything straight. Right? I'm going to start this building the same way I started the other one, with the bottom going to the vanishing point, and then up here, before I get to the roof, the top also going to the single vanishing point. All right, and then I can add a straight line here to indicate this side of the building, and then a straight line here, straight line up and down, right, to indicate that. And then probably I'm going to erase this. So now, if I want to get the roof on this side, that's pretty easy. I can raise my, here, I'm going to do it like this. So I'm lined up with my vanishing point. And the roof on the side, on the long side, it's going to go to the vanishing point like this. Actually, it's going to go up a little bit higher. Actually, you know what? We don't want to sketch that in yet. Hang on. So draw a square here, a straight square underneath this. And if you want to find the center of a square, you basically draw two diagonal lines that line up with the edges of the square, right? So this is the center of the square. This is the very center of the square. If your square is at an angle, right, like this, so this is still a square, but it doesn't look like a square because it's on the side, right? This is a square, but it's going away from us, so it doesn't look like a square. How do we find the center of this? We do the same thing. We draw a line from here to here, and then we draw a line from here to here. And here is where the center is, the center of your building. So even though I can go straight up from here to line up my roof line, comes up a little bit past here, see with the center here. So this line I draw straight up and down. So you can see this side, it looks smaller than this side, right? But because this is in perspective, if we were looking at it directly, if we were standing right next to it, it would look like this. So you can still use your finding the center. If we were going to find the halfway point exactly, if we were going to measure it from what we could see, it would probably be about here. But the real halfway point, as we know, this half is going to be bigger than this half because this half is closer to us. Does that make sense? And then these lines just go at an angle, right? So I can just draw them at an angle. They do not go to the vanishing point. Same with this one. But this is how you find out where to put the roof, where to line it up, where it starts, where it ends. So go ahead and sketch that and send it to me.
I've sent it to you, Leah.
Let's see. Thank you, Sarah. Best student ever. Perfect. All right, you're ready.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to my cat.
Now up to your cat. Yes, your cat, exactly. So does that make sense though? It's a very simple way of figuring out where this line goes. Right?
Yeah, that was very useful.
Yeah, it's really helpful. I found this to be one of the most helpful things. Does this, how is everybody else feeling about this? Are you like, wow, it's challenging everything I know about physics and gravity and
Now I know why I couldn't draw the shed when I joined your acrylics
Right.
class. I was trying to catch up.
right?
I'm like,
This is why. This is why. And I didn't even think to refer to this when we were drawing the shed. I should have. Like that would have totally helped us locate our roof. But don't worry, we're going to have a big old chance to copy that here when we start working on this.
Yeah, I think if you didn't know that, there is no way you would get it right.
You don't. That's the thing about perspective. It doesn't. It's like a language, right? You actually, there's a translation that we're doing because we can't go. Think about it like this. This really
It's
helps
geometry,
me.
really.
What's that?
It's geometry.
It's geometry, right? And it's translating from 3 dimensions to 2. So my lines can only go this way and that way, like a windshield wiper, right? It can only go this way. I can't draw my lines that way. I can't draw them in to my paper as if I was doing a 3-dimensional thing. To me, this was the biggest thing I had to learn as a drawer. And also the thing that teachers had the hardest time explaining to me. So if I'm not explaining it well,
Explain well.
to explain, right? But it helped me to go, oh, I can only, because I'm trying to show depth and things are, as they go away from us, rise up like the road, right? So we know that literally this road is not actually physically going up, right? We know that. We know it's flat on the ground, but we know that when we look at it and we're translating it to a flat surface, it looks like it's rising up. And you learn how to do this when you learn how to draw this road as a kid. You also, in some level, learn how to do this when you learn how to draw a cube, if you learned how to draw a cube as a kid, right? Because these sides go up, and we know that these sides are actually equal, but they don't look equal, right? So that's the language. So as we start to learn, this is more on that rule, how to find things, how to make it work. It's okay if it feels a little fuzzy now. I'm just trying to introduce the concept as well as I can before we jump into our drawing today. So I want to see a couple more examples. Jackie, great. Good. Good job, you guys. Great job. Awesome. Julia, good. Sandra, good. Anybody else got one for me? I'll wait just a minute. There's a little bit of a hinky bit. We are going to get to Sandra's house because I'm like kind of obsessed with your house right now, Sandra, and I do want to paint it because it's so pretty. It's
But
so
that would be
pretty.
easier. But there's so many trees in the way.
It's all right. I can figure it out. Like maybe I'll just do it myself. Figure out how to get it done. It's not doing it as much as it is describing what's happening. Finding the words to describe what's happening.
There
But
are many.
I love this little house, which I just think is so charming. It's a little Cape Cod house. Unsplash. Olga, again, thank you for the recommendation on that. Let's see, Stephanie. All right, Stephanie. Great. So, good job. So Stephanie, do you see how like easy it is? Good job. And what good transition from here to here, right? Oh, Olga, I just realized that I looked at Stephanie's drawing and thought it was yours. Anyway, sorry about that.
But still, I agreed with you and corrected it one more time.
All right, so let's go to the house. Now I'm going to recommend, if you want to, that we'll grid this. Does everybody have a ruler? Is there anybody who does not have a ruler? If you don't have a ruler, speak now. Everybody have a ruler? Okay, then this is what you're going to do. I'm going to you're going to do this with your pencil on a blank sheet of paper. What I'm about to do with the source. So we're going to start here by finding, and the best way to do this, by the way, this is a 28 by 22.5 centimeter space. So my recommendation is or get a piece of printing paper, which is 8.5 by 11 inches. I'm going to find the halfway point. Here's my one end. Here's my other end. I want to make sure my ruler is lined up at the end of my paper. And the halfway point here is 5.5 or 14 if you're working in centimeters. And then I'm going to mark the same thing up here so that when I line up my ruler, I know where to put it. I know that I'm lining it up exactly halfway. So I'm going to do the same thing on the short side. This is 8.5. So if you're using inches, it's 4.25. 4.25. Make sure you line up your ruler in the same place on either side. And then you're going to draw this across. Might do this I might go over with a pastel. Let's see how this goes. And then I'm going to find the halfway point of each halfway all around the paper. So half of 5.5 is 2.75 or 7. 2.75. Half of 4.25 is basically 2.2. It's this is when you really realize how dumb inch measurements are. They are so dumb. But there you go. 5.25. This also is a way of like kind of slowing ourselves down as we get into the process of drawing. I like it. I don't use a grid a lot, but I use it sometimes. Or sometimes I might use kind of a simplified grid. I think I'm talking to you guys about that in watercolor a little bit, like like a half one, just to kind of help you know where things are. It helps. So here we are. Then of course I'm lining up my. So you're going to do this with your paper. And don't worry so much about the details of this house right now. Your eye is probably going to those slats, those wooden slats. Don't worry about that. We are not, if you don't get to those today, I don't care, right? I really don't care. What I'm more interested in is can we get these lines in the right places? I'm going to get. So now you'll notice that we actually, I'd say the vanishing point is about, yeah, I'm looking for the place. It's about here. Yep. The vanishing, because we're standing pretty close to this house, the vanishing point. Hold on. This green will work out, show up better. Oh yeah, that's nice. I think the vanishing point is about here. The reason I can tell is that, oh no, yeah, no. Maybe it's up a little bit. Maybe it's here. Oh yeah, look at that. Yep. Like here, sorry, down a little bit. And the reason I can tell is when I put my line all the way across, just like this one, or just like here, right? Everything is pretty much straight. Right. It's the only place where that's happening. So there's your eye level. You're not going to be able to see. Oh, maybe we will on this side. Let's see. Oh no, that's the roof. Nope. So you're not actually going to be able to see where your vanishing point ends. So if you want to, you can give yourself an extra, while you're practicing this concept, you can actually give yourself an extra sheet of paper, line up something here so that you can measure, or you can just kind of imagine where they would go. If you're having trouble seeing where the vanishing point, you'll get better at like kind of anticipating where the vanishing point is later when you practice this. But if you need to, give yourself a sheet and just keep drawing it out here. So when you, yeah, because it's going way far out. My ruler doesn't even want to, it's going all the way to the end. How far it's going out on this end. Here, I'll see if I can scoot this over here. Here. There we go. Don't fall. There we go. I know this is a little bit angled, but right, I can see. There we go. Oh my God, it's actually going off this, it's going off the edge of this paper. So just so that you know, this first line, well, maybe just work on bringing it to the edge. And this one, going kind of cutting through the stairs. Is going like this. All of these will meet at one vanishing point. So will this one. And then everything on this side. This is also going down a hill. Everything will meet at the vanishing point on this side. Yep. Right. And now everything meets at the vanishing point on this side. Trying to show you where all this happens. This over. I've just ordered, you'll be happy to know I've just ordered a bigger notepad, 10.5 inches instead of 8. So hopefully I'll be able to fit things better on the screen when it arrives next week.
That's exciting.
Yes. You know, it's always Janet who says, why don't you just get a bigger blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll do that.
What kind did you get?
I got a Lenovo. Which I like for, you know, if all it has to do is be a second camera, I'm kind of stoked about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked really nice. It's very light. The quality of the camera is significantly better. So as we're sketching out, and then you'll see, so this obviously, this area does not exactly fit because it's a roof and an area that kind of goes down a hill. So this little addition to the house, we're going to have to add on later. But everything else should follow on each side, should follow the concept of the vanishing point. So I'm sketching these all in, right? Same here. Yep. It's amazing, right? So as you're trying to get these lines straight, they are all going to the same vanishing point. And we can also use this rule with our squarish part here. Here, I'll do this with a different color. Let's try this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go get one of my, this is what the new pastels are for. Hard edges, hold on. You know what I want to tell you guys as we're going through these concepts, it's okay if the concepts feel jumbled and confusing, right? Because it is a very different logic. It's geometry. It's a very geometry on a two-dimensional surface. It's a different language we're learning. So it's okay if it feels like kind of, I don't get it, right? It's hard. Trying to get this in here. There we go. Right. So the center should be about here, which means that the top will be here. Yep. Look at that. Isn't that a nice little rule that we just learned? So as you start to structure your draw, I'll take a picture of this so you can see it in all its glory with its vanishing points here and there. And then I'll start drawing this with you. You can start if you get it. Good job. Yeah, perspective is the point where we're like, whoops, dang it. Where you realize I have to know the rule. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to quote unquote see what's happening. Okay, so wait, I don't think I took that straight. Okay, I'm gonna get this down here so I can get a better image of it. I'll bring it right back up. There we go. Okay, better. So you should have a close-up picture of that. And then as we get started drawing, it's gonna look a bit like this. Have it up here. Quickly. I'm sketching in mine, trying to be quick about it. I'm not doing a great job. Let's see. 2, 5. Remember, all the verticals are straight up and down. They don't slant. Even though you want to make them slant, they're not slanted. The things that are slanted are these horizontal lines. And this is one side of the house, and this is another side of the house. So we're going to treat them like separate sides of a cube. I know I'm a little late to the party, so if you're already going for it, that's great. We're going to be introducing another beginning drawing class on Thursday evenings, New York time, in June. So 6:30 p.m. We'll be doing more beginning drawing. Of course, as always, you can work on whatever you want.
So what will the advanced New Yorkers do?
They're just going to do what they always do, which is they've been working with me for 5 years. They've all got projects. They're working.
Oh, okay.
But, and you know what? The advanced New Yorkers need help with their drawing.
Ah.
Nobody ever seems to be good enough at drawing. The only reason I'm saying, I mean, this is a very tricky lesson that we're doing right now. Although this is being introduced to beginners and it is a beginner class, believe me, there are advanced artists who can really use this, who need this rule, who understand. It's funny, like the more work you do, the more, it's almost like you have to make a certain amount of mistakes to realize that you need help. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know what I'm saying?
Just teasing you.
Are you teasing me? So it's almost like I can't even explain what the problem is because, and I'm noticing, by the way, that as I draw this roof line, it kind of lines up with this grid line. So this grid line is helping me kind of figure out how to make that angle work. So that I can also use the grid lines to help me do that. Okay. Yeah. The other thing I can do, and I like to do, oops, hold on, it's a little tilted. The other thing I like to do is to hold my arm out straight with my pencil. So I can I can draw my line where I think it is, right? I can draw my roof line where I think it is. And then I can check it with my pencil. Hang on, why? Oh, I wonder if it's because this is too low. the ever-present lighting problems. Let's see if I move that away. It would be easier to see. Yeah, a little bit. Right, I can then check the angle by holding my pencil, my arm straight out like this. Here, I'm gonna pop myself up here so you can see this for a second. So I'm actually holding my arm straight and I'm checking, and these things are right next to each other, so they're on the same plane, and I'm checking. I can bring it up just a touch. So I can check the angle that way. When you see somebody doing this or doing that, that's what they're doing. The key is you can't like pull your arm in when you go over and check the other angle. You have to keep your arm perfectly straight. The other problem I'm having is I need to stand, I'm on a slanted surface, so I need to stand and look at this. Yep. Yeah, right the first time. So you can check your angles like that too. That's what you do when you're on location. Okay. Let me remove this. I'm really starting with the simple things. I'm starting with these lines. Oh yeah, and I can see that this line kind of comes down like this. It's across like this. And then goes down. So I can probably and then yeah, pretty good shape. So I get these lines, and then I can add in this straight line, right, which is just a vertical, up and down, straight up and down. I know this is a bit of a mind bender, but I think you're going to find it strangely kind of relaxing. Notice that the line for this side of the, oh, wait, so is that right? I noticed I have my line too far. I can tell because this side isn't big enough. So let's see, I'm going to bring it back here. To that here. That seems better. 1, 2, yep. So what's also nice about this thing, this theory, is that it helps you, it's easier to correct. I don't get it right. Yeah, that's right. This line is kind of right along this vertical, so that's sort of handy. Don't really have to redraw that. I want to get the bottom, and the bottom kind of lines up here. So I can actually use my grid, right, to get this bottom kind of lined up with this line. I can see that happening here. I know I'm going to have to get rid of these lines at some point, but it's good to get them in. And this one kind of lines up over here. So I know that this one, when I draw this line, it's down probably 1, 2. Yep. There we go. So isn't that awesome? It's also true that this photo shows a slight slant in this line, but you can straighten it. You're allowed. This is where people say they can, like an art teacher, for example, says they can see they can tell when somebody's drawing a photo, when somebody is using a photo, because you'll see that in a couple places, like here, the line is actually slanted a little bit. I'll show you. And that's the photo lens not being as sophisticated as your eye. So you don't want to recreate that in the photo. You want to make that line straight up and down. So ultimately, we use photos, but we're not totally reliant on them. We can correct to make our things look the way they would in 3 dimensions. Yeah. Have you ever spent so much time drawing and then the next drawing like a box, a set of boxes in your life? I'm going to do this. I'm going to draw this so I can find out where my center is. And then that will help me locate where the top of my roof is, which is just above here. And then I can, it looks like the roof, if we come back here and you can see, I drew a roof line here. Looks like the roof actually literally ends at the halfway point of this grid. So I can draw my roof right here. Bam. I feel like this is one of the greatest examples, though, as well, of why it's important. Oh, and look at what's interesting here. Can you see that the chimney is also following like a cube, except that we're looking up at it? So that shape is there too. I don't have to figure out that angle because I've already got these set. I don't have to figure out these slanting roof lines that slant down, even though they don't go to the same vanishing point, because I have the points, right, where they start and they end. Let me see if I can correct the lighting on this. And it's okay if you have the lines kind of sliding off your table. Here. Yeah, it's a little bit easier to see. Yeah, if I have 2 more inches, I can fit 2 pieces of 8.5 by 11 paper horizontally. That will be helpful. I have to kind of guess where this one is. It's weird. It feels like this roof feels like a little bit short to me, but it's looking actually pretty good when I check my proportions. Maybe it's a little bit more. There we go. So notice the difference that this tiny little shift made. It's about 1 millimeter difference, adds a lot more depth to this roof. I can see that the chimney also lines up, at least this side, certainly lines up with the vanishing point. So this side will go down a little bit, not too much, but it will. This is not a straight line, even though you might think it is. This is more like that. And this is a line that goes straight down like that. Oops, too big. If I want to, I can also see kind of what else goes through the center here. I can see that this window kind of lines up mostly on this side of the center line. Oh, that's the problem. So I know as I'm drawing my window lines, I'm going to do the same thing, right? I'm going to ever in search of the thing that we can see. So I also like houses because this idea of the construction and the setup makes way more sense. For some reason, we have a harder time seeing this than we do. When we're looking at a tree or something. Right? We know we have to get these boxes in order before we draw any of the details. So that's the thing that's kind of fascinating for me. I think it's helpful is that we understand this need to block things in the basic shapes. Whereas in other things, we get very excited about the colors, the blah, 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 wanting to get the flower right away, right? You know, a little bit higher. Oh yeah, look at that. Wow, actually, the horizon line is, the vanishing point is even higher. The eye level is even higher than I thought. It's really more where the center of these windows is. Yeah, it's really hard to judge exactly where it is, but I can see these guys going up. These going down. So I'm here, so if I want to start getting into windows, I'm going to start by marking where I think this window starts and ends here. And if I go down, I see that this window ends just above, just below this grid line. Window. So I know if this top window goes at this steeper angle, the bottom window is going to be a different angle. It's going to be a little bit less steep. Let's see. No, that's not right. That's too steep. That's right. These verticals are straight. This window is going to be wider than this one. Sure. No. Yep. I'm going to draw in red where eye level is. It's a little bit much higher than I had it. This is eye level. That's eye level. So all of these lines, these horizontal lines are straight. It's like the middle window bars. So if you want to, you can sketch in just below here. A straight line. A straight line for your eye level. Your Where is eye level? It's where the top, it's where the middle of these window panes meets. Where all the middle window panes on this bottom surface are. Let me take a picture of this so that it's clear. Let's see. I've labeled it EL for eye level. Here, I'm going to send this over again. That's looking nice, Diana. Fun. Do you think you'll ever get tired of drawing cats?
No,
Yep. I think so
But-
too.
I think it's time for something else after this.
What are you thinking about?
I don't know yet.
Waiting for inspiration?
Ah, I'm not a person that waits for inspiration. Then I would never do anything.
Well, waiting, not meaning implying you're looking for inspiration is probably the better word, right?
Yeah.
Looking for inspiration is the better phrase. I'm going to put this here so you guys can see it more clearly. And I'll take a picture of where mine is at. I'm going to stop here. Okay. So Jackie, if you look at this, where this center point is, these windows are underneath.
Ew, yeah.
Yep.
Do they have to be like, couldn't they just be higher?
No.
I'll move them.
But that's a pretty easy fix.
Okay.
How's that? It's a
Fair
pretty easy
enough.
fix. It's a pretty easy fix. These looking pretty, this all looks in pretty good shape. I love this. I love your little like dots up here and the sketches here. And I'd say the same thing, Jackie, about this window. It has to move. This one, if you'll notice, this one, the corner is on this. So
Oh,
use this triangle as well to locate where your windows start and end.
okay.
Yeah, but in general, good job. Really good job. I'm just looking at but the angles look good. Good. So I gave you the wrong eye level. I have the eye level here. The eye level is actually up a little bit higher. Let's see.
And that makes a difference to your vanishing point, right? And
It
to your
does.
angle.
It does a little bit. So yeah, it does. So that's why I was correcting it for you. I'm looking, Olga. These need to be a little bit longer, honey, and more, right? They're narrower, and this corner is really, so your windows need to be on this side, need to be located a little bit differently. This doesn't look too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it changes the angles a little bit. I mean, essentially, you're kind of using the grid lines as well to show you where the angles are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you
Yeah.
can see sort of where they start and end. These ones, this needs to be. Yeah, in general, this all looks pretty good, except for these windows on this side.
Mm-hmm.
The
Okay,
different
we'll
windows,
correct them.
otherwise looking good. Really good, you guys. Good, 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 good. I know it's kind of tedious, but it's worth the effort, right? To try and figure out where things are. It's even worth screwing up this drawing. it's like even worth coming to the end of class and being like, oh my God, I totally got that angle wrong. This exercise is absolutely worth doing that for. I'll jump back in a minute, but I want you to have a good view of this. Some more food. Oh yeah. More It actually really helped me to step up and see, get away from my drawing. I could see immediately that I had made my windows on this side too. They were not the right shapes and the angle wasn't right. So it helps
Really, baby, we're gonna go later.
to see that. It helps to see this is here. Oh, that's what my problem was. It's easy to get all confused with your lines. That's okay. You will have some success with this drawing. And that's all I really ask. You already had, you all, let's put it this way. Everything I've seen, everybody has had some success with this drawing. And that's really all there is. That's all I really need to see. You don't have to get every piece right. Because there's a lot of pieces to this thing. Let's see. My eye level is about here. Is it helpful for you to watch me do this, or is it more helpful for me to look at you? Is it more helpful to be looking at this?
What, baby?
What's that? Looking at this? Having this front and center? You can actually see that these window panes, they kind of meet up here at the same place when you draw your angles. So your window pane on this side should line up with the line that comes to the edge of this side. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's definitely happening. So once you determine where these are, it's going to help you figure out where these ones go, because you'll know that the starting point is here, right? The starting and end point of the windows on this side are here and here. Hi, Boo Boo. Okay. What was that? That's sad. Really? Come on. Okay, so Osiris, it's okay if you miss the first lessons here, because this is all about how to show a house going back in space. Just do what you need to do. There, hold on, and I'm looking at Stephanie. Here. So Stephanie, these windows don't look right to me.
Yeah, I'm redoing them right.
Yeah, okay, great.
They weren't lined up with the ones on the right.
These look pretty. Also, notice once again where these are in relation to these red lines, right? Your cross lines. The corner, you have this going through the center of your window, and really the corner is here. And
oh, I see. Okay.
See this one looks pretty good actually, and this one actually looks pretty good, and this one not too bad. And also watch that edge. This whole edge is going down, right? This whole edge is going at an angle down. This is the hard part about drawing. Every single line is a different angle. The only good thing is that they all go to the same, they do line up, they all go to the same vanishing point. But not only that, but every single window, like bar, each one of these is at a different angle too. You guys are doing, this is good though. You guys are doing good. Good boy. There we go. So remember, when somebody says to you, "Oh, drawing, it must be so relaxing," as you curse them out silently.
It is relaxing,
It is.
even when it's
Even when it's hard.
frustrating.
Isn't it true? Isn't that the truth, Diana? That is
Yeah.
so the truth. 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 It's still relaxing, but it's not laying on the beach relaxing. It's like
that I find stressful, laying on the beach.
right. It's kind of like all you're thinking about is all the things you have to do, right?
Probably not.
Yeah, I'm not much of a. I don't know. I'm not much of a beach layer too. I wish I could be better at it. If I could like be better at taking naps, I'd probably be more just relaxed in general as a person. But it does not seem to work out for me that way. You're going to find yourself second guessing. You're being like, really? Is that really where it is? Doing that thing a lot. Yeah, I'll work on this side while you're. I see. That's what we're talking about. Mhm. This piece right here that I'm working on here, this little triangle here, is slightly confusing because this side is going that direction. Well, this side isn't going anywhere, but this bottom point here is actually going this direction. So just do the best you can in trying to sight this angle here. Right? Stop. So once again, all these shapes, here, I'll try and show this. This is all going, this is going down. This is going more straight across, right? So this is getting kind of, it's higher up and slanting down higher here and a little bit more straighter across. It's still going down a little bit, but not as much as this angle. It's tricky. This is the easy house. Like, this is a fairly straightforward house. Houses.
I now know how hard those cathedrals are that Jessica draws.
Right? Having some appreciation, right? Construction. And it's, like I said, this is just beginning So I'm gonna find something. We're gonna try.
Ooh.
That's funny, Lana. That's looking pretty good. It's good. Good job. Hey, Lana. All right. Actually, it's still in pretty good shape. Very nice following of directions, you guys. I'm impressed. Lana, the only thing I'd say is that this angle is steeper than you've got it. I haven't even sketched that part in of my building. You've got this kind of coming out like that. It's almost straight. It's a much steeper angle. Good shape. That's funny. There we go. Anybody want to send their drawing in right now? Or are you still kind of in the awkward phase of it?
Very awkward phase.
Okay. I don't expect these drawings to be finished, right? I don't want you to have to get into all the detail. I like to just see if we can get the windows, all the placement of the pieces all in the right places, as close as we can. see. Hi, Janet. I didn't even see you come in here. All right. This is looking pretty. Oh, yeah. Very nice, Janet. Following these perspective lines very well. Yeah. Yeah. This line is straighter. Janet, the only thing I can say about this, the only thing, is that this line is a little bit straighter. It's not quite so angled as you've got it, right? Which means these also are slightly less angled than you have them.
Okay.
Here's eye level here, this red thing right where the center of the windows are. And then everything else, it's up, but it's not quite so extreme. So you can, if you want to kind of bring these out a little bit flat. Very nice. Good job.
Thanks.
Jackie. Great work. Great work. Yep. Oh my gosh. Very nice. You got it. I know your head's probably like, blah.
Yep.
But it's in really good shape. It's in really, really good shape. All of these lines, let's talk about this for a second, because if eye level is here, all of these lines are going to go. I wonder if we could actually find where the eye level is. Let's see. I'm going to scoot this way just a little bit and give us like, I'm just curious where this would go. I made myself all this to find the eye level. Would I be able to do it? All right. So if eye level is here, this red line, then everything below here should ultimately come up to eye level. Like here. Your vanishing point should be about here. So that means, yep. That means this. Yep. So it just means these angle lines are less extreme, because here's where it actually meets if you were to follow the eye level. I don't have a ruler long enough to show. Oh wait, maybe I do. This big one. It's under my desk. I don't want to knock over it. Oh, I totally do. Look at that. Yep. So actually, it's more like here. Now that I actually have a proper tool, I can do this. So here's our vanishing point for these bottom lines. If we were to follow it all the way out, right? So everything here, notice I'm keeping my ruler at the vanishing point in the same place, and I'm just moving up this to get these lines. Until we get to here. See that? So all these lines, it's just not a super extreme. It's because he's standing so close. Normally the eye level would be about here, but if you're standing far away. Interesting. Which means now I can sketch these in. So you can see at least where they land. So I don't want to make all our lessons this tedious, just so that you know that. I'm not all about, I want us to have, but I thought this was an important thing to review. And as sort of exhausting as it is, bottom windows, yep, there we go, interesting. So these the top of these windows goes down, and the bottom of these windows goes up. We did it. We found the vanishing point. So you can keep tweaking this as you want to. We've got another 15 minutes. This will all be recorded if you want to do it again. Oh, Sandra, yeah, look at what that gray does.
It came out well, huh?
It came
I mean,
out
I'm still
great.
not fantastic at blending edges, but I'm
Yeah,
getting
but
better.
you know what? But what I really love is how you use how some of that grayscale is coming through to add depth.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's wonderful.
It's a great, yeah, we're going to try this next week. We're going to try this next week. I love it. It's beautiful.
Great. Thank
and
you.
I feel like this is where you're starting to like take your pastel knowledge.
Exactly.
So
beginning
where
to
those
be able
things
to
are
translate
starting,
it.
So that's what's really awesome, Sandra, is all of this hard work you have done to understand this new medium. Now you're beginning to learn how to use it to do what you want to do. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's the beautiful thing. And it's why I very much admire that you were like, I'm going after, I think you knew somehow that watercolor would land you. Okay, so we'll try grisaille painting. We'll try grisaille paintings in class next week. You've convinced me. It's a great idea. It's a great idea. It's beautiful.
It is really beautiful.
Yeah.
Because the watercolor can look a bit washed out, but somehow this really helps.
So what color, if you don't mind my asking, what color, are you mixing your grisaille with specific colors?
I am specifically using a Daniel Smith neutral tint. And the reason I'm using neutral tints because you need something that's not going to lift. And I don't know enough yet. My understanding is that neutral tint does not lift. And I don't know enough about the other colors to find something.
Let me see if I'll do a little research this week and see if I can figure out more about the action, like if we can play around with that underneath color a little bit.
I think there's a woman, the woman Hajra mix I mentioned. Yes. I think she uses a blue. I've seen people using a blue. I can't remember whether it's ultramarine or indigo. But I just to be safe, I just use neutral tint.
I think that's great. Neutral tint.
Because in theory, you could almost use anything, but then you would have to use a fixative, which I don't want to do because then the paper doesn't absorb the watercolor as much. So.
I think it comes out really, really well.
It doesn't need a background, right?
I'm interested in this. Yes, I'm interested. So I'm wondering what we can do I'll do some research to see what colors what mixes people use. Because I'd like to use whatever we've got. I don't want to send people off finding another color.
No, and also, I mean, not just Daniel Smith does neutral tint, but I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't want to send anybody having to buy a color.
Yeah, exactly.
Buy new colors. We don't really have time for that. So
I know we can't use black for sure because it's too strong.
Oh, that just turned out great.
I shouldn't put any background, right? Just leave it like that.
It's beautiful.
Okay. I'm just going to sign it and
sign it and check it off the list and move on, Sandra. To the next thing. That's wonderful.
need
So you guys, this is also true about this class. You might take more than one class with me a week. You might be working on another project. Diana has always many projects going on involving acrylic paint. You can do whatever you want in this class. You are not required to do, you can just come and hang out and I will help you. Just to encourage you to like spend the time, right, doing art. So if you're like worried about how am I going to get my hours in, we have 7 classes a week. You can jump in any class and do that. I mean, for private students, you're probably more interested, since you're paying yourself, you're probably more interested in doing like specific things that will help you. I think, sorry, I just zoned out looking at the drawing and looking at the pictures, looking at your guys' drawings and looking at your pictures. Wait, what did I do with my actual picture? Is here somewhere, but oh, here it is. For the Vanishing Point.
Yeah, I thought I would finish today, and instead I'm just getting deeper and deeper into it.
That's what happens when you think. This is about how far I got today.
This was just going to be like a little fun painting.
Well, as you have said often, Diana, you often will get deep. It takes longer than you think.
Always.
Right?
Always.
Always. I mean, you can make it take as long as you want to. Yeah, you got it, Olga. You got it. 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 Jackie, good job. Olga, good job. Sandra, good job. Great job. Janet, great job. Like Stephanie, great job. Lana, good job. The guys did good. Cyrus, lovely. I mean, I really feel like oh, Diana, it's so dead. Yeah, you're right. I see what you mean. You can get so into it. Oh, that's so cute. Marvelous. Jackie, all right. Jackie, this is an achievement. I think you guys should really feel, I don't know how you feel about it, but
I have a ruler. I like
you have a ruler and you're using it.
It feels great.
These are wonderful. I am so pleased. I'm trying to figure out like whether I want to take you on to like another kind of structure, like a car, which has a very specific kind of structure, or if we want to do more building work. Are there any requests in the man-made sort of city and sort of built environment, structured environment? Anybody have any requests? What's that? Why am I not hearing? No requests?
We're not hearing either.
I try.
Okay, great.
Train.
All right. So even if you feel like you did not get all the parts of your drawing correct, I want you to recognize that even if you got even if you did just here we go. Oh, it's coming in. Oh, so great.
Leah, I have a question.
Yes.
Could we do a street with several buildings with perspective? I know that it's too complicated, but
yeah, why not? Let's see if I can. I was wondering about that. Let me see if I can find that.
maybe like some New York street or something like this with several buildings.
Something simple, something kind of simple. Yeah, that we can simplify. like we
Yeah.
did with this one. We did that with this one. Yeah, let's try that. What I might do is have you try to draw a car first, a single car. So we might go car and then combine them together into a street scene, because cars have a very particular structure, which is its own thing. Stephanie, holy camole. Sorry, when I cackle like that, I'm generally very pleased. I know it sounds very witchy. It's my happiest noise. It's when you've really got somebody, when you've really got it. Oh, you guys, these are wonderful. And yeah, Sandra, this is just, I feel like this work is starting to come up to the level of your pastel work.
Yeah, it's not quite there because
But
I'm
it's
having a
getting
lot of
there.
trouble with a brush. It's much harder to control. So keep ordering brushes.
It's hard. Yeah, it's well, that's a girl.
Oh, you know what? I forgot to do the whiskers.
Oh, that's right. It doesn't even notice it. You don't even
But
notice.
he has mostly white whiskers, which is problematic.
Right.
There's some black.
You guys, these are awesome. Stephanie, great work today.
Leave them out. I would
Yeah,
leave them out.
He looks fine.
Okay.
Oh, I love it. Oh, Cyrus, great. Great. Well, yeah, and it's just getting in. There was a lot of instruction at the very beginning of class that helped to set this up. So if you missed it, it's not easy to follow, right? So go back and catch the video, listen to the first part again. Really great work this time. So you guys, I think what we'll do next week is a car. And then the week after that, we will try to put them together into a sort of a big city street scene of some kind.
Wow, so that's hard.
Right. Yeah, it might be hard. In which case we might break it up into pieces, or we'll just try to do the outlines, right? Just so that you know how to get started. Yeah, that might be too hard, but I think I can find a simplified version.
But
I think I could show people. What I might do is just show you how to simplify it, right? Which is kind of how we did it today. Like, we didn't really get into too much detail. We spent all of our time just trying to get the windows, the walls, the roof, the bottom in the same place, in the right places. That's really what we spent all our time doing. So, well, it'll be something like that, where you can continue it if you felt ambitious. Anyway, very nice work today, everyone. Hold on, I'm gonna remove the spotlight. Oh, I see we have 5 minutes left. What am I doing? Here, keep working. Chop, chop. Or look at me exhausted, like hold up your drawings as you're working on them so I can get a picture. Hold up your drawings. Oh, and your artwork, yes, please, if you've been, and your paintings. Hold on, let me get them. Anyway, I really feel like y'all got somewhere in this lesson, and that makes me really happy. I don't know if I can show this. Come on. Come on, camera. Come on, camera. Oh, sorry, my camera.
Your tiger came out really beautiful.
It really did. It turns out so great. You guys did great. Stephanie, great work. Janet, great work. Lana, great work. Olga, Osiris, Diana, Julia. Wow! Sandra, Jackie, I'm telling you guys, I love to see you push yourselves, and you really did it today. So tomorrow, pastel landscapes with Marie in the morning, and then evening, and then oil and acrylic painting, still life with me in the afternoon. You can join any class. Just let me know if you want to sign up for something, and I'll send you all the information. And you guys have a great week. And the request next week was that we would do blossoms in watercolor. That was yes. Emma Thomason's, and I thought it was a great idea. So we're going to try some sort of blossoming.
With a grisaille?
Yeah, I'm going to try it. So I have to find the right subject. Sure. Yeah, you're all pushing me up on my level. So I'm going to try it myself, and then we'll do it together. Yes,
I think it might be easier to do like a close-up of blossoms. as
Yeah,
opposed
we
to a
might end up doing some
tree,
more close-ups
or
of
do both
blossoms.
maybe.
Yeah. I have a couple of thoughts about it, so we'll try it. But
Great.
we're gonna try it. So I'm excited now. All right, we'll see you guys when I see you, which hopefully will be soon. Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe
next week.
Tomorrow.
Take care,
Very good.
everybody.
Thanks,
Bye.
Leah.
Bye.